G'day Bodgies and Widgies and welcome back to the channel. Now this year I have truly been on a streak of collecting some of my dream aquarium fish. So far this has included a group of discus, a huge group of 20 torpedo barbs, a school of 5 betta macrostoma, and a school of 10 bozemanite rainbow fish. However, today I wanted to go ahead and share to you my new group of Geophagus pyrocephalus, formerly known as the Geophagus Tapajos. Before we get into this video though, as always, let's acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land and the people that are managing our land as well. But I say enough talking and let's have a look at these absolutely stunning fish. So Geophagus pyrocephalus are one of the most popular South American cichlids. They're also probably going to be the most common or readily available species within their family, not only here in Australia but all around the world as well. And they're such a globally loved fish for a few different reasons. The first of one being their colours. When these fish are adult or full size, they have a beautiful orange nape, some really cool blue across the fins, and that spangled pattern is something that is almost exclusive to these fish. They also have an amazing temperament. I've seen full-grown Geophagus be kept with fish as small as cardinal tetras long term. So it really goes to show how great these fish are, and they will probably get along with any tank mate that you put them with. And finally, they have a great utility purpose in your aquarium. In my 5 foot where I've got a pretty deep sand bed, and the fact that this tank is 2.1 feet tall means I can't really siphon the aquarium or the sand as much as I would like to. And that's where the Geophagus come into play. Their name roughly translates to earth eater, and in the aquarium they will take up big mouthfuls of sand, sift through it to find any food particles, and they'll spit the sand out. And this is great because it keeps my sand bed nice and clean, nice and moved around, so I'm not getting any decaying matter stuck within the sand, and it's just a win-win situation keeping these fish overall. So around 4 weeks ago, I made a trip down to my local aquarium store, Aquatico Aquarium. I say local, but they're about 40 minutes away from me, and I actually went down there for a special order of some really cool native Australian catfish that I purchased. You might see them in this aquarium, and for you keen-eye viewers that can probably identify them, let me know in the comment section down below what you think they are. However, they're for a future video where I'll go through them and why I want to get them, everything like that. But whilst I was doing my lap around the store, I noticed that there was a tank with what I suspected was Albino Geophagus. Now, I've seen Albino Heckelii in Australia before, and they are quite expensive, but these were different to Albino Heckelii, and that's where I got intrigued, because if my suspicions were correct, I was looking at my first ever tank of Albino Geophagus pyrocephalus. And that for me was really cool because I've never heard of these fish even existing, not only in Australia, but all around the world, full stop. So that's where I thought I have to most certainly bring some of these fish home. Now, being how rare they are and the fact that they do carry the full albino gene, it does make them about 4 to 5 times more expensive than the standard Geophagus, and I would need to spend upwards of $1,000 if I wanted to bring home about 4 or 5 of these fish. And Geophagus are a species that need to be kept in a group, so it didn't really seem all that practical for me to drop $1,000 on these fish as much as I love them. However, what I could most certainly do was get a single albino and a couple of normal or standard Geophagus, which would be perfectly fine because at the end of the day, they are both the same fish. So I then picked out the biggest, largest, most stunning male in that albino tank and a couple of standard Geophagus from the normal tank. So these don't carry the albino gene, but it's really great because I can still keep Geophagus, and my long-term goal is to hopefully look at breeding these fish. So I do have the ability to get some albino offspring by crossing an albino male and some standard females. Now, I have such a great relationship with Aquatico Aquarium that I basically catch all my own fish whilst I was there, and full disclosure is that Aquatico did give me a very generous discount, and I want to thank them so much for the support that they provide to this channel. All of the things that they've provided, not only in savings when I purchase fish, but also aquariums, products, all of that sort of thing, just really helps the videos that I can make and in myself achieving some of these bucket list goals that I have. So a huge thank you to them, and if you are looking for some really cool, unique and rare fish that you don't see in your standard aquarium stores every single time you visit, and you're in the Melbourne area, make sure you go ahead and check them out and shoot them a message just to see if they can source the fish that you're after. They do also ship fish Australia-wide, so it's something that I would most certainly consider. But moving on, I brought these Geophagus home, and I was actually quite concerned because for the first day or two, it seemed like the standard Geophagus didn't actually accept the albino. They were both sort of in their 2 separate paths, and they were actually squabbling quite a bit that I noticed. However, after the first couple of days, I noticed that they all did group up and they're doing fantastically well. I feel like the females have realized that there's the big albino male, and the behavior that they were originally displaying is quite different. It's almost like they are more submissive to that male, and that's really great. It gives me fantastic prospects for breeding these fish in the future. And I love this albino fish so much that I am considering potentially to get some more albinos, but we'll see how that goes. Aquatico also did have some really rare plecos, so I'm just weighing up my options at this point. But also they're feeding fantastically well. I'm giving them pellets, frozen foods, and whatever hits the bottom, they are eating like absolute pigs. So this journey into keeping Geophagus has just been so fantastic, and the Pyrocephalus are actually only one out of my 2 dream Geophagus species. The second one is the Geophagus duripari, or the emerald earth eater, or the green horseface. So we'll see how that goes, because I know Aquatico has a couple in stock at the moment, and boy am I tempted to get them. So there's a lot of dream fish options around me. I just have to hone into one that I want to bring home. But thank you so much for watching this video. As much as the support that Aquatico provides, your support is the most important, because you're watching these videos, and it's just a further incentive for me to grow my hobby even faster than I normally would if I wasn't making these videos. Seeing your comments, all of your interaction with me, honestly does make my day, and a huge thank you for watching this video. If you want to see the update on these fish and how they progress over the course that I'm keeping them, make sure you consider subscribing and giving this video a big thumbs up. It really does help with the growth of this channel, and we're so close to that 2,000 subscriber mark, and I just love everything that you've done so far. So thank you so much for watching. As always, stay happy, stay safe, stay Aussie Australian. Bodgie out!